In April of 2022, the U.S. Army announced that SIG Sauer had been chosen as the provider for the next-generation squad weapon rifle and machine gun variant. Breaking away from the M16 series of rifles for the first time in over half a century, this historic revolution in infantry weapons with improved ammunition is expected to provide more power and pierce through the toughest body armors. According to Ron Cohen, President and CEO of SIG Sauer, the fielding of the next-generation squad weapon system in the close combat force, quote, will forever change the dynamic of military engagement for America's warfighters with American innovation and manufacturing. Still, the program's utmost secrecy has led some to wonder if it will be as revolutionary as initially announced. But SIG Sauer has released a few hints and promised that the new weapons will be more lethal and accurate than anything on the market. Time to upgrade. The rifle, or carbine, is the primary weapon used by infantry, special forces, engineers, and other units in combat support. These guns, used by most soldiers in a typical 9-person infantry squad, are designed to have as much accuracy as possible to be able to engage enemy troops up front. The U.S. Army's current standard-issue rifle, used in the post-9/11 conflict, is the M4 carbine, a shortened and improved version of the M16 assault rifle used during the Vietnam War era. On the other hand, automatic weapons are only carried by 2 squad members and are used to boost firepower. The M249 light machine gun is the weapon of choice for the United States Army, and was initially adopted in the mid-1980s. The automatic weapon is intentionally less accurate than the rifle in distributing its greater fire dispersion capability across the battlefield. Still, both the M4 carbine and the M249 machine gun use the same .556 caliber rifle rounds, and that, according to the Army, was the problem. In May of 2017, Army Chief of Staff General Mark Milley warned the U.S. Congress of a new threat to this particular round of ammunition. According to Milley, there was concern that the older round lacked enough punch to penetrate new kinds of body armor, even with armor-piercing upgrades. With a relatively cheap price tag of around $250 per soldier, these new kinds of protection were becoming standard issues in the armies of potential adversarial states. The U.S. Congress then issued an order to test the modern-day effectiveness of the M4 weapon and its .556 caliber NATO round. While trials concluded that the carbine still performed well under stressful situations and continued to be favored by troops overall, the ammunition had difficulty penetrating the types of bulletproof vests used by Russian and Chinese soldiers, primarily when chambered at longer ranges. SIG Sauer. In 2017, the United States Army issued several requirements for prototypes for the next-generation squad weapon program to search for replacements for the M4 and the .556mm ammunition rounds. This was not the first attempt to replace the weapon and the ammunition, but lack of funding, poor submissions, and several other issues hindered the process. The program's rifle and support weapon called for the capability to use a 6.8mm round, among other requirements. And for 27 months, hundreds of soldiers, Marines, and Special Operations Forces tested and evaluated the rifle's prototypes. Then, on April 19, 2022, the wait was over. The United States Army issued a statement announcing that the SIG Sauer Firearms Company was selected to build the next-generation squad weapons rifle and machine gun variants. The company's XM5 rifle will replace the M4 carbine as the Army's close combat weapon, while the XM250 automatic rifle will replace the M249 squad automatic weapon. Both models are based on civilian versions of 2 of the SIG Sauer models, the SIG MCX Spear rifle and the SIG MG 6.8 belt-fed gun. According to Army officials, in addition to building the replacement of the M4 and M249 squad automatic weapons, SIG Sauer's initial $20.4 million contract also includes manufacturing the 6.8mm ammunition that they both chamber. As part of the initial production order agreement, SIG Sauer produced about 25 rifles, 15 automatic rifles, and a large quantity of 6 8mm ammunition to test the weapons while the production line was fine-tuned. The successors. The Army chose SIG Sauer's prototypes from a list of competitors because of their significant capability improvements in accuracy, range, and overall performance. While details of the XM5 rifle are scarce, the MCX Spear, SIG Sauer's near-matched civilian version of the weapon, is 34.1 inches long, weighs 8.38 pounds, and uses a 2-stage match trigger. The XM250, on the other hand, is a scaled-down version of SIG Sauer's MG338 machine gun, doubles the effective range, and is 40% lighter than the current M249 machine gun. Also, both machines will be equipped with a suppressor. After recent studies conducted by the United States Marines revealed that infantry units equipped with silencers communicate more efficiently on the battlefield, engineers chose to provide both weapons to improve overall performance. The weapons will also have the XM157 next-generation squad weapon fire control, an advanced fire control system designed to increase accuracy, allowing troops to observe and hit targets from greater distances. Ammunition. The real change in the upcoming replacement is the 6 8mm ammunition to be chambered by both weapons. Flying much faster than the current ammunition, these bullets will provide troops with more accuracy and control, optimal for close combat between 1,640 and 1,968 feet. The ammunition uses a hybrid metallic casing made of brass, steel, and other materials that reduces its overall weight. According to SIG Sauer CEO Ron Cohen, the design for the next-generation squad weapon can fire up to 12,000 rounds before a barrel change is needed. In contrast, barrels on the M4 carbines need to be switched after firing only 6,000 rounds. The ammunition itself is what will hold up the deployment of the two new weapons until the fourth quarter of 2023. Until the Army has enough ammunition stocks in its arsenal, both for testing and for potential contingency purposes, the troops cannot use the new weapons. And while SIG Sauer will initially produce the new ammunition, the Army will take over the production at the Lake City Army Ammunition Plant in Missouri by the mid-2020s. The plan. The new XM5 and XM250 will initially replace the M4 in infantry, scout, combat engineer, and special operations units. The trusty M4 rifle, however, will continue to be used by the rest of the Army, like combat service support troops, including truck drivers, medical personnel, and others. According to the Army Times, the United States Marines will also buy a select number of SIG Sauer weapons. Once the two weapons are in service, they will drop the X prefix, renaming them M5 and M250. The Army plans to buy up to 250,000 M5 and M250 weapons, becoming the provider of the vast majority of small arms involved in close combat forces and likely special operations forces in the entire service. According to estimates, the first unit of soldiers equipped with the new system will roll out in the fourth quarter of 2023. Still, information on how effective these weapons are against the guns they're replacing remains classified. While this new data will eventually be disclosed, there's no clear timetable, and the Army might just be trying to get ahead and holding close to those details to prevent potential enemies from getting a laid-out summary of their new guns' capabilities. Thank you for watching our video. Please let us know your thoughts about the Next Generation Squad Weapon program in the comments below. Do you think the upcoming M5 and M250 will be worthy successors to the weapons currently used by the Army? And before you go, subscribe to this and all the channels in the Dark Documentaries family. Stay tuned.